Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Only One Noodle podcast. As always, it's Jose. Real quick right now, you noticed that I'm wearing a Hazbin Hotel themed shirt, and you also noticed that I got the brick wall behind me. I'm just gonna like come out and say it. I didn't get a chance to record the podcast that when I was supposed to. I did get the call. I got called into work a little bit early, so I didn't have time to record it. So with that being said, I am doing a double. I am filming my the reaction and the podcast back to back. I'm doing the podcast first because it's actually more simpler for me, to get to the flow of things. But with that being said, I want to bring up a little thing that's gonna be happening soon. Um, Next week I am gonna be working a 5 day shift, and and I'm only gonna have 1 day off. So am gonna, and here's the thing: it's not gonna be on Wednesday or Thursday. It's actually gonna be on Tuesday. So the podcast, it may seem a little rushed, but you have to forgive me for that because I am gonna be working 5 days afterwards. So it's not a big deal. They are gonna come out on the same days. They are coming out. They are coming out, regularly scheduled. They are going to be coming. The podcast is going to be coming out Friday and Saturday, respectively. But other than that, everything should be fine. Also, if any Hell of a Boss fans are out there, I want to point out that yes, the new merch, video came out on YouTube. So I am well aware, and I might as well address this now, but because, or else I'll never get to it. That would be, yes, the merch videos, they are coming soon. Again, guys, be patient. They'll come out when they'll come out. Hopefully soon. Like, I know I keep saying that, but I mean, they are coming soon. I mean, work is, usually, got me backed up a little bit. So, yeah, like I said, just give me some time and they'll get there. Um, um, I guess that's about it in terms of what's happening and in terms of new news. Um, with that being said, yeah, I don't think I had anything else. I think that's it. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, next Tuesday I am gonna be recording back to back with the podcast and the reactions. So if it does look like a little rushed, I do apologize for that. I mean, like I said, I'm doing it back to backs, and afterward, I still have to edit these, reactions and podcast episodes. I gotta edit them, and don't get me wrong. Like when I'm not at work, usually like I work at like in the early afternoon, like mid afternoon to late. So I do have time to to edit all this. So work out the kinks, like fix some things. But on top of that, I mean, that's basically it. That's basically it. As far as when it's gonna come out, give me a second. When this is gonna come out, yes, they will. Like I said, they will come out. Sorry, I got kind of lost in translation there in my mind. They will come at around. They will come around like same day, same time, nothing else. As far as how long the schedule is gonna be for, I really can't be for certain for sure. Um, I mean, there's a lot of things going around. I did have to request Father's Day off, but other than that, that's about it. So, with that being said, let's actually get to some of the topics that ooh, we let's actually get to some things that you know some topics. Um, Now, this is gonna be a bit of a serious topic. So I might as well get into it. Now, recently, um, I know back in the day, I believe so, like way early when I started doing the podcast. I mentioned this girl that I kind of had an attraction to, and I don't want to say her name because he might see it, and it's like, dude, what are you talking about me? I don't need another Duncan incident where I, said some stuff. But the thing is, it's this. This is not ill will towards anyone, because I mean, it's not like, I mean, it's no ill will towards anyone. It's just like, hey, this is how I feel about somebody. But I did meet this person. I met this girl while I was working at Walmart. However, during that time, was starting to make the transition to another job, and I only met her briefly. More than electronics. I mean, cute. I mean, the girls are cute. I mean, it is a compliment. Don't take it as an insult. You know. But anyway, the thing that uh, anyway, at my new job, I only met her twice. After that, I barely even saw her again. I follow her on this Instagram. I still do. Just like but it's mostly like, oh, that's what she's got going on, this and that. I mean, she works for a gun company. Like, I think she's starting like do like the DIY. I'm not actually sure. I'm not sure, but she ended up being a gun. I think she became their marketing person. I don't know. The reason I bring that up is because she was on a podcast. I mean, about like why women need guns. I think that's what the video's called. I'll probably put like a plug. I'll probably plug that later. You know. I mean, it is a good episode. I mean, I actually liked it. I mean, like they did make some good points there. So yeah. I mean, so basically, I mean, to make a long story short, I mean, her career kind of took off, and then she moved to Texas, and she's been living there for the past 5 years. I mean, up to like currently now, she's in Texas right now. Um, she's, I mean, the only thing new that she's done is like she's got a Tesla. I think she got a tattoo of the Bucky's beaver. That's all I know. And how do I know that? Because I mean, she posted on her stories on Instagram. I mean, how am I not gonna see that? You know, it's not on her wall, and it's not on her feed or on her profile or anything. But that's pretty much the gist of what she's done so far. So why am I bringing this girl up? Well, the reason why is I kind of had an unhealthy obsession with her. Like, the last thing I mean, mostly on her birthdays, I just say happy birthday, but that's it. It's like, she's like, oh, thank you. Like, and that's about it. Well, we barely get into any progression. Um, I mean, but anyway, the reason I brought her up was because I did kind of have an unhealthy obsession with her, like in a sense, like, oh, she'll call, she'll call, she'll call, she'll call. It was like, and then I kept like having like picturing like what a relationship would be like. I mean, all this generalized expectation thing, but the reality is like she really never even gave me the time. And I mean, I even asked her out for coffee, and never really got a reply from that afterwards. I mean, but the thing is, for 3 years, for those next 3 years, from 2016 to 2019, I believe, or 23, I don't know, 4 years. Um, I've decided it's like, you know what, it's time, it's done. I can't really, follow this charade anymore, or that I've created in my mind. So I made the decision to say, hey, you know what, hey, it's done. I mean, I'm kind of over her at this point. I mean, and this is actually gonna be a really, well, sentimental if you want to call it that, but the reason I'm making like doing this segment is because I wanna, well, not necessarily project. I want to like, put like, my, get it out in the open, if that makes sense. Um, 4 years. I mean, when she moved to Texas, I'm like, okay, at this point, yeah, she's not coming back. I mean, she made her choice. She's not coming back. It's her job. I mean, if somebody offered me to work in like in a high paying job, like, if I was like, recording stuff, and like, if I, let's say I did, I mean, let's say like my job was to film stuff, like, I actually got paid for it. And they said, oh, we'll offer you 70 grand, but we'll offer you 70 grand, but you have to move to, Seattle, Miami, or New York, or Boston, or somewhere. I mean, I'm gonna take that job. I mean, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna say, hey, I accepted this job, and I mean, this position I start like within a week, so it's like, okay, it's like, apparently, like, let's say like they gave me a month. It's like, okay, I'm working with this, like, I'm filming stuff for them here in California, but they want me to move to Miami, and it's like, all right, cool, I'll move there. If it's for like 75 grand a year, I mean, I'm not gonna complain. I'm like, hey, a job is a job, I'll move there. I mean, will I have to give up some stuff? I'm like, yeah, I will have to give them some stuff up. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to tell my parents, like, hey, I can't live here anymore. Like, hey, or tell my family or my friends, like, hey, guys, I can't. Like, I got a new job. I have to move, in a month. I'm moving to Miami. So I'm basically, it's like, you know what, just help me get my stuff together. And then we'll have one last day. And like for the last week, and like I'll just like you know go up there and like put my stuff and get settled in. And that's the thing though, that um I mean, but yeah, that's the thing, like, she moved on. And here's the thing, it's an unhealthy thing, like when you obsess about someone who, she knows you're there, but it doesn't really, and it says friend zoned you, but not at the same time, or doesn't find you like, not like attractive or anything, but she doesn't see you as like, oh, I don't think we could be in a relationship together. It's that kind of thing. And it's fair for her. It's like, and here's the thing, this is a little bit about her. She has dogs. She has Dobermans. So I mean, that's one thing. She had a Camaro, which she named Spicy Nug, and she actually posed next to it. And I mean, that's actually, that I find that attractive, that a girl like that is into cars like that. I was like, you know what, man, like, I mean, damn, man. And a lot of people was like, dude, I've shown her to people, and it's like, dude, why don't you take that? Why don't you hit that or whatever? Or why don't you like get with that and go out with this? Like, here's the thing, nothing. I mean, ever since I left my job at Walmart, like, who knows what would have happened if I stayed? If I would have said hey, I like you, and like we mind going out on a date, or we like to have some coffee. And here's the thing, even if I do get friend zoned, I mean, I mean, here's the thing, just because you're in the friend zone doesn't mean you get to stay. The guys who like kind of like are dreaded because they feel like they're never gonna get out. And actually, those are the guys who are actually still in there because, like, hey, guys, like, that's the reason why you're in the friend zone, like in the friend zone, because you put yourself there. You're not doing anything to say, hey, I want to be with you, or hey, I'm taking a chance and trying to ask you out. No one's doing that. That's the thing. That's probably why you're still there. But anyway, I mean, like, she's been in several relationships, and apparently that's actually what caused her to move to Texas, actually. And by the way, she is a gun owner, so yeah. I mean, it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying that hey, she likes guns. Hey, more power to her. I mean, I'm thinking of getting one myself, like, but for protection. Also to go to the range if I want to, like shoot my feelings off or something. Shoot like a target. But there's the thing. I mean, that's the thing. She's moved on with her life. And here's the thing about like compared to her, I'm not. I don't measure up because here's the thing. I work in a supermarket, which honestly is not too bad. I mean, I do get benefits. I don't have a car. I don't have my own place, as in like I don't share one. Like I don't have like my own place like by myself. Um, I rarely go out, mostly because of work. And like I'm trying to lose weight. I actually gained weight. I actually went up like I'm actually like at 183 now, which is kind of like messed up because it's like, jeez. It's like I went down and then I'm starting to peak back up and then I went back down a little bit and then I went up a lot. So I don't want to like to peter out like I don't want it to go like up and down. I don't want it to be like a roller coaster. I actually wanted to stay consistent, like go down. Still working on that, by the way. And the thing about that is that I don't fit her requirements as a as a boyfriend, as a partner. We'll bury it. I'll go like boyfriend. It makes sense. Like I don't fit her requirements, for a relationship. Like maybe I do, but here's the thing: if I have one box checked off, that doesn't mean I'm automatically in. If I checked off all the boxes, then it would have been like then I'd be perfect boyfriend material for her. But since I'm not, like she picked someone else. But and hey, yeah, a bit. Yeah, I was a little bit, jealous of that. But at the same time, it's like, dude, it's her choice. It's not my choice to make. She has to pick. She has to choose. It's all her. I'm not gonna force her to pick me over someone else. No, because that's not how it works. That's not how relations work. That's not how, That's not how get a girl. That's not how you do that kind of thing because it's like it's not what you want it to be. All right, you can complain about it. You can say, "Oh, why does my life suck? Why come I don't have a girlfriend?" That's probably why you keep bitching about it. I mean, I've been trying to get out there. I mean, I'm been on dating sites. I've been on Bumble. I've been on Hinge. I've even got to clubs and try to pick up women there. Hey, at least I'm trying. I mean, a lot of you just sit there and mope around go on your computer and stay up late at night, playing Call of Duty or Apex or something. I mean, no disrespect to Apex or those more Call of Duty. I actually play those games, but at least I'm trying to be more progressive with my life, right? I mean, at least I'm trying to go out. At least I'm trying to make the effort. But I mean, that's the thing. I mean, about sustaining, trying to get into that kind of life. But anyway, and here's the thing: it's one of those. Yeah, man, I have to let her go. I mean, but then it's like, well, she was never yours to begin with, which it's fair. I mean, if somebody gives me that, shoots me with that, I'm like, hey, that's fair. I can accept that. I'm at the point also where I can accept that. Look, she's moved on. She has her life to live. She has her own job. She lives in. I mean, she lives in Dallas, for crying out loud. I mean, let's say I went out with her and I was engaged to her. Then if she wanted me to move to Texas, yeah, I'll move to Texas. I mean, Dallas. I mean, hey, I mean, it's cowboy territory. I'm a 49er fan, but hey, I can make it work. I mean, it's not like there's fan bases all over the country. It's not just situated to just like one particular area. You know, I mean, I know Steeler fans that live here in California, and because my brother's one, or I know someone who's a Browns fan who's I mean that's the thing, it doesn't matter. I mean, I would be willing to say it's like, hey, we can. Hey, if you want to if you want to move, fine, we can move. We'll make this work somehow. Like we'll find a way. And I can actually tell you, is like there's always a way. We can fix it. It won't be easy. It'll take some time, like adjusting, but it's not something. It's hard, but not impossible. And yeah, that's another thing that like I mean, it's I had to face that reality now that hey, she may not come back. Like she's never coming back, and that's okay because I mean there are other fish in the sea. I mean, it kind of pains me to say that, but it's true. I mean, I can't, I can't. The best way I can describe it is I can't force her to be with me, or I can't tell her, "Hey, I want you to be with me. Give up your job in Texas and move back here." It's like, no, I'm not gonna do that for her. She's not. That's what a lot of guys have an issue with is like the guy wants the woman to conform to them, but you have to realize that if she's doing something well, I mean, she's doing something good and she's good at it, and she wants you to move with her, and you don't want to, then yeah, then that's your issue. You want her, you want her to be your girlfriend on your terms, not her terms. Because if she wants to be in a relationship, she'll hear your terms and her terms, and you can compromise with that. She's not gonna like, oh, I don't want you to move, and if she's like, why not? It's like, oh, because I want you to stay here, and she's like, why? Because you're with me. Okay, anything else? That's it, and that's why not many people can do like long distance relationships. No one can say, hey, we can like hey like oh we can do this like while you're over there. And if it's And I think most guys still like that kind of connection because it's like, dude, like she has friends out there. Also, the jealousy will step in and says like, oh, she's working with these guys, or one of them's gonna try to make a pass at her. And that's why a lot of guys don't like doing long term relationships because like they want, in a sense, they want them to keep an eye on them. Me, I'm not gonna force this girl, you know. And honest, you know what? Screw it. I'll say her name, Chelsea. I can't force Chelsea to come over here and say, "Hey, move back." No, I'm not gonna tell her that. I'm not gonna tell her quit your job and be with me. No, I'm not gonna tell her move back here and be with me. No, she has her life. She has her own job, her own car, her own life. She's in a relationship. Does it bug me? Yeah, a little bit, but that's her choice. I can't say anything about it. I have to live with it. And with that, I have to say, hey, I have to cut my losses and say, hey, it's not gonna work out. It's never like I've been trying for this long, and since it took me this long, I mean, I don't even know why it took me this long to realize it though. But it's done. I mean, it's over. Like I have to move on. It's sad, but that's the cold reality. I mean, it's not like I can't make the world like go according to my plan. That's not how the world works. I mean, we have to take it in stride. We have to, bring what life comes in. I mean, is it gonna suck that hey, and if she's going out with someone else, yeah. But here's the thing: I can't do anything about it. It's her life, not my life. And it's her life that she's living. She's not living my life. She's living her life. And that's what kind of bothers like a lot of guys out there who are like, oh, I want her to stay with me because like oh this and that. But dude, she's given up a lot for you, and you're not even gonna give it to her. That's probably why your relationship failed in like towards the end because you weren't really listening to her. I mean, she made the choice. And to move to Dallas. Cool. If we were in a relationship, would I have gone? Absolutely, no problem. And like I mentioned before, I'm like that same scenario is like, well, we can make it work. We'll try to adjust. It's not gonna be easy, but we can make it work. But But here's the thing: that's never gonna happen because she made her choice. It's her life. You know. I mean, I don't have to be happy about it. I just gotta live with it. And yeah, sure, she'll post something on her Instagram and her stories. But it was like, hey, cool. She's like, taking a ride down, down a country road. Hey, cool, nice. She's at home, you know. She's at home, filming outside, like from inside, like she's seeing, like she's filming like the rain outside from her bed, from her apartment. It's like, hey, cool, hey, it's raining over there, nice. But that's the thing, it's her life. I have no say in what she can't do. I can't be like, oh, that's nice weather. Maybe she should come back here. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna force her to be in a relationship she doesn't want to be in. She made her choice. And the choice was not me. Her choice was not going out with me. Again, I'm not forcing her. I didn't put a gun in her head. It's like, hey, go out with me. Mostly because she would have pulled a gun on me. She would have like blown my head on like multiple times before I even hit the ground. And that's the point that I'm trying to get across. Like, I mean, the choice has been made, and that's it. I mean, and I have to live with that. She has her own life, and I have to let her live her own life. I cannot interfere with that. And the thing that I want the takeaway from this is like, hey, I took too long, or in a sense, better yet, she was way out of my league. I'm gonna be straight out and say it. She was out of my league. But at least I gave it a shot, and it was, and for what it's worth, I mean, we did have some conversations, but that's it. But nothing really ever, went from that, It's, it's what it is, I mean, honestly, I can't, I have to live with that. As much as I want to go back in time and fix and say, well, what if this, what if. That's just what if. I mean, it is what it is, and I have to live with it, It's not like, oh, this is what I have to go with, This, actually, no, sorry, my little off right now. But also, I'm still a little tired, so sorry about that. But here's the thing. I mean, I wish Chelsea the best of luck. And if you're watching this, hey, good luck, girl. I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, but the obsession that I had with her was unhealthy. That's actually probably why I never, grew as a person during that time. I mean, I'm growing now. I'm like, learning more about myself as time goes on, and it is what it is. I mean it's all I can say about that, and honestly, I can't be mad at that. I cannot be, like, I have no right to be mad at that because it's like I can't like sit like around like being mopey about it, So honestly, I mean, it's tough, but hey, I have to face reality. She's never coming back. And honestly, I mean, it's a reality that I have to deal with. I have to live with it though, because it's saying like, dude, she's never coming back. I feel like she made it clear with you. And honestly, that's I mean, I feel like that's something I can live with because she made her choice. I mean, if she did come back in the future and try to make something work, maybe. Then yeah, well, actually no, not maybe. Then yeah, I could probably try to make it work. If not, then if it's like, if she's like just wants to hang out, it's like, hey, just hang out. Okay, fine. We'll hang out. We can just be friends if she wants that. But from that point on, like, dude, I mean, I just have to accept the fact that she's gone and she's gonna stay gone, you know, because I'm not her priority. Just a lot of things on her plate, and I'm not one of them. So she's moved on, and you know, I have to move on too. You know. Oh, damn. So before I can, okay, so that does it for that segment. I did. Sorry if it got a little sentimental. I mean, sorry guys, I'm still waking up. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not fully awake. But here's the thing. You know what? You know what? Might as well just move on. So anyway, another one thing I want to address on an unrelated topic is I saw a video on YouTube, well not YouTube, on Instagram about saying who's better, and like, and the topic was who's the better artist, the Beatles or Taylor Swift. And a lot of people say it's like, oh, Beatles. Some people say Taylor Swift. And but one girl's like, I was gonna say Beatles, but it's like, but then you would have to be old for that. And it's like, but here's the thing. I want to, put out on the record there that they're both excellent, music acts. And and I will actually try to make a debate about this right now. Here's the thing. They're both good in their own right, but for me to select one, I have to look at the options. Here's the thing. For example, look at the Beatles, and here's my first argument on that. The Beatles are from England, and normally, like foreign acts usually usually get more attention, mostly for the not just the talent but the looks. I mean, they got the looks. I mean, in the '60s, that was actually like, boy band material, and it's clear out the man. Here's the thing to point out: the Beatles were actually the first. Well, I'm not sure if they were the original boy band, but they were one of but they're the reason why boy bands became like popular in the first place. I mean, and now compared to Taylor Swift, like, she's from America. And I'm not saying that American girls aren't attractive. They are. It's just that when she started, she had that country girl look, which is actually how she started. She had the talent. She had the looks. She was like the next door. She was the next door neighbor. She was the girl who you had as a next door neighbor that you had a crush on and you wanted to ask on a date. She's the everyday country girl. She's the everyday American girl. That's actually what actually made her, that's actually the appeal of what made her, famous. The look. She had the country girl look. She looked innocent enough. It's like, hey, would you like to go to the dance with me, kind of thing. To whereas the Beatles is like, oh my God, these guys are so hot. Like, oh, I want to, I want Ringo, I want Paul to, to sign my, my poster, my notebook, or whatever, And I mean, they each have their own fan base. I mean, I know some people that like both of them. I like both of them. I mean, that's the thing. I'm not gonna pick between either one of them because they're both good in their own way. Sorry about that. Another thing is longevity, though. The Beatles were only relevant were only big in the '60s before they broke up. Taylor Swift doesn't have has been doing it for 20 years. She's 34 years old, and she's still rocking it. I mean, she's doing concerts. I mean, and also, by the way, this is a good point to point it out. I might as well just do it now because it's gonna get or else I'm gonna forget about it. That whole baby situation. Apparently, a fan brought her baby to the concert, left it on the floor while she enjoyed the show, and people are getting pissed at her. and rightfully so. Because here's the thing: if why would you bring a kid to a Taylor Swift concert first of all, without ear protection? Because here's the thing: I've been to rock concerts before. They're loud. I mean, my most recent one was a Metallica concert, and I can tell you that is loud. I was deaf for like the duration like that night. I mean, I thought my ears were gonna explode. So yeah, I'm calling you out, French lady. If you don't, here's the thing. Also, the point of going to a concert with your kids is to have fun, to have a fun time. It looks like you were the only one enjoying yourself. That kid was just like on the floor. Dude, you're lucky nobody stepped on it. Or, okay, sorry, let me rephrase that. You're lucky nobody stepped on your baby. Because if somebody did, you would have been the one in trouble. And I'm not even surprised. I'm surprised she's not even in trouble. If Child Protective Services saw that and they're like, dude, no, we're taking your baby. You could have just left that at home. You could have left it with someone. You could have left it with a babysitter. I mean, if you had a 5-year-old, then yeah, you could have brought your 5-year-old. Just make sure they wear proper ear protection because concerts do get loud. But anyway, back to what I was saying. The thing about Taylor Swift is that she's been doing it for 20 years. She has 10 albums already? 11? Not sure. I know she released a new one. But the thing, I mean, and what the Beatles have released 10 in that decade? So they put in work. Both of them do put in work. The Beatles were actually doing, sell out stadiums before Taylor Swift did, so I can, give a point that to the Beatles. Taylor does that now on a regular basis, so I mean they both play to large crowds. What else? Longevity. I mean, what's their legacy? I mean, Taylor Swift so far doesn't have a legacy because she's still performing. Well, in a sense, kind of, but not really something like that can expand. The Beatles, on the other hand, have a legacy of their own. When they broke up, they did their own projects. I mean, George did his own. George went solo, Ringo went solo, Paul went solo, even John went solo. I mean, they have multiple albums. They have multiple songs. I mean, for crying out loud, Paul McCartney created his own group, Wings. And then he went solo. I mean, when he was knighted by the Queen, I mean, that's a legacy right there. But then again, so was Elton John. But at this point, but if I were to compare, I mean, then you're just splitting hairs right there. I mean, fan base, teenage girls, both of them got that. College age fans, they got that. Adult fans, they have that. Parents, well, I mean, not in the beginning, but Taylor has some parent fans. I mean, why wouldn't you, But the thing is that, I mean, it's open to interpretation. With that part. Also, the hardware. I mean, they won awards. Taylor's won awards. Beatles won awards. I mean, they've been on TV. They've been on film. They've done everything I'm describing. Each of them has done. Taylor Swift's done TV. She's done movies. She's done, voiceover. She's done lots. I don't think she's done voiceovers. Actually, yes, she does. The Lorax, she actually voiced the character. Which honestly, here's the thing. Is, acting wise, I feel like, Taylor, I mean, her acting's kind of off. It's hit or miss. I mean, for Paul McCartney, for crying out loud, he made a cameo in Pirates of the Caribbean. He was Jack's uncle. He was Johnny Depp's uncle in that movie. And what's interesting is, and I find it fascinating, that your dad is Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones, and your dad is a Beatle. Your uncle is, Paul McCartney, a Beatle. I mean, dude, I'd be so jealous if that was my family. No, actually, no. Sorry, dude. If that was my dude, if I had a friend whose family was like that, dude, I'd be so jealous. Because I mean, I like the Rolling Stones. I like the Beatles. But anyway, they have the hardware. When they've won awards. They've conquered mountains. And if you want to talk about sales, Taylor's like sold like what 100 million plus albums and copies. Look at the Beatles; they've done the same too. I mean, their catalog is extensive on each side. They both have their albums. Both have their compilations. The only difference is that Taylor has music videos, whereas the Beatles didn't really have that many music videos. So I'll give them. So I mean, Taylor does win that by default by a mile because she has multiple. I mean, I know that. I mean, there's a song where I know there's a music video. I think it's called "The Man," where she actually goes in full like guy makeup, like prosthetics. They even had like a behind the scenes. She actually does get into the like into that character. I mean, although Taylor Swift, I mean, rolls off the tongue very well. Makes me wonder what her brother Austin would be named if he was a girl. I mean, honestly, I can't think of any Austin names, girl equivalent names to that. But anyway, but to be honest, if you want to say who's the best, you can't say of all time because that's very subjective, and that's the thing. Music is very subjective. I mean, to me, music is music. I mean, if you don't think if you don't think the Beatles are real music, or if you don't think that Taylor Swift's real music, then that's your own fucking problem, right? That's your perspective. I mean, it's not true. I mean, just because you say it doesn't make it true, because it's open to interpretation. That's the beauty of um, that's how it is. So in terms of who's better, I think they're both good. It's just a matter of perspective on who you like better. If you like the Beatles more, then yeah, you're gonna say the Beatles are better, is better than Taylor Swift. And if you're gonna say you're a Taylor fan, yeah, you're not saying I don't like the Beatles. I mean, they sold close to the same amount of records, copies. And you also gotta remember, the Beatles did this as a group. Taylor did this on her own. So I will give her brownie points on that. I mean, if we're just gonna go and say it, but that's how I feel. I like both. And honestly, if you don't feel that way, then that's your own opinion, man. I'm not gonna say, hey, you're wrong, or that you're right or anything. It's like, hey, it's what you think. It's not my choice. It's your choice. It is what it is. I mean, who am I to argue? Now, with that being said, and give me a second, I have to deal with this. Now, with that being said, with that done, it's time to get to everyone's favorite segment of the show. Have you heard? And for those who are new to the podcast, have you heard is a segment where I talk about like news articles that aren't necessarily like headline news, but yet garner attention, and to add something to it, I put in my own input, put my own 2 cents, and what I think about the subject. And I really have an interesting one because honestly, this is one that I just heard about this, and I actually wanted to talk about this, but whoops, sorry guys, haven't done the reaction, as often. Boop, there you go. So, apparently, I'll read the title. No, the NYC Dublin portal is not permanently shut down. Here's why it was temporarily suspended. The portal installation that connects New York with Dublin will be temporarily suspended due to inappropriate behavior. Sorry, guys, I have to. Anyway, the live video portal connecting New York City with Dublin will be temporarily suspending this week to implement technology changes due to inappropriate behavior. Sorry. In a statement to the Irish Independent, the Dublin City Council confirmed that the work will be done mostly overnight on Tuesday, May 4th. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, guys. Like, the reason I'm doing this is because my screen is cracked, and this is the only way I can see it. If anything, I'll actually, I'll minimize it. In a statement to the Irish Independent, let's see if I actually can see it on my side. Anyway, the Dublin City Council confirmed that the work will be done mostly overnight on Tuesday, May 14th. They noted that while an overwhelmingly majority of interactions are positive, certain incidents of inappropriate images and behavior have gone viral, not across social media. While we cannot control all of these actions, we are implementing some technical solutions to address this, and these will go live in the next 24 hours. The Dublin City Council said in a statement. We will continue to monitor the situation over the coming days with our partners. Sorry, guys. In New York to ensure that the portal continues to deliver a positive experience for both cities and the world. The organization that created the portals confirmed that the live stream between the two cities will be temporarily paused on Tuesday afternoons, so the company can begin implementing technical solutions to address this. Part of the Irish Independent. ABC 7 New York reported that the portal will likely be back up and running by the end of the week. The portal makers also know that we do not intend to suggest people to interact with portals in any particular way. Our goal is to open a window between faraway places and cultures that allows people to interact freely with one another. We encourage people to be respectful and from our position as observers. We see that the absolute majority of experiences is on the bright side. Their statements continue per the publication. By the way, I love this quote actually. This is why we can't have nice things. NYC Council member Eric Botcher, who represents the Flatiron District and is a member of the Council's Irish Caucus, tells people, as much as we appreciate the Irish spirit of fun, we can't have shamrocks and shenanigans taking over our live stream. Let's keep it classy, folks. The art installations were introduced on May 8th by the organization and offer a two-way live stream between Manhattan and Dublin's popular O'Connell Street that allows people to interact with onlookers from the other side, according to an official statement from the Dublin City Council. Since it was installed, wholesome moments, including one TikTok user in New York City sharing her experience reunited with her high school pen pal who lives in Dublin, have transpired since the portal opened. The portal organization has put on installations in other cities since 2021 and aims to be a bridge to a united planet, per their website. They plan to announce a new portal in another undisclosed city soon. In a statement obtained by People on Wednesday, Joe Callahan, director of Portal's organization and CEO of Sansar, called the reaction from New Yorkers overwhelmingly positive. While we understand there have been instances of inappropriate behavior at the portal, these incidents represent only a tiny fraction of the overall interactions, Callahan added. That said, the goal is to of the project is to provide a window into different cultures and perspectives, while also ensuring it remains family friendly. Efforts are being made to address inappropriate behavior so that we can maintain the integrity and the inclusivity of the project. And yeah, that's about it actually. And you're probably wondering why though? Like why? Like are you talking? Why was this an issue? Well, here's the thing. The reason why it became such an issue, and here's the thing, and I don't want to be that guy who ruins it, or be that guy. I mean, honestly, you kind of all had it coming. But here's the reason why. For those wondering why it was like, temporarily taken down, was because apparently there were a few people that showed the 9/11 attacks like through the portal. I'm not sure which site was it, and to add insult to injury, an OnlyFans model flashed the camera. Yeah. That's if nobody wants to explain why, I'm giving you the reason why. That's actually what happened. I mean, here's the thing, and yeah, like that one guy said, this is why we can't have nice things, because there are people who are gonna, say like, you know what? Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try to ruin it for everyone. I mean, obviously that's not apparently the people who are doing it says, well, I'm not trying to ruin it for everyone. But everybody wants to be that guy who wants to ruin it for everyone. I mean, I don't know why. Why do you want to be that person who constantly wants to ruin it for other people? Like, why? See, this is why I don't like certain things on social media. That's why some trends are stupid, because some idiot has to ruin it for somebody. And yeah, and I'm not even joking. Some girl actually, lifted her shirt up and said like, hey, and yes, like I said, yeah, she is an OnlyFans model. And why? I mean, what were you doing? Like, what? Were you promoting yourself? Were you saying, were you doing it in hopes of someone would call you out and say, hey, I'm an OnlyFans model. Here's my tag. Because here's the thing. If you're doing that, that's stupid. Do it on Instagram. Do it on Twitter. I'm not calling it X. But yeah, do it there. I mean, like, or on Reddit. I mean, Reddit is the only place, that allows you to actually do that. And no one would even give a shit. I mean, but see, this is when, like they said, this is why we can't have nice things. I mean, I actually want to know where the next one's gonna be, because apparently they're doing like sister cities, and I know there's this one YouTuber who actually made this, made a comment like, dude, people are doing these stupid stuff on these things. And the reason why is because he's like, he found out that he lives in Montreal and the sister city is Hiroshima. He actually wants to interact with people. I get it. I want to, whatever. Here's the thing. I'm going to be living in Orange County soon. I want to see the sister city to that. Put it in the town square. That way I can be like, oh, cool, that's nice. So this is what this city looks like. Or let's say it's a city in Mexico, like, oh, it's Jalisco or something. Or Benham or something. Or Mexico City, man. Mexico, or DF. I mean, it doesn't matter. As long as I can interact with people, so like, hey, how's it going? It's like, put it aside, it's like, hey, I'm Mexican, I live here. But that's honestly, it is a buzzkill. I mean, come on. But I mean, people always have to ruin it for certain people. That's why certain things. Well, we can't have certain things because somebody will abuse the privilege. I mean, this is why I don't want an electric bike, because stupid teenagers are riding them out in the street. I mean, and being jerks about it, and like, and dude, like, here's the thing, they're being, and not only that, they're making them like they're having hangouts where I was like, dude, and why? I mean, I don't mind if you hang out. Like, here's the thing, there's a park, go to a park. You don't have to sit like, in like, you don't have to be in front of a Wendy's. You know, it's not like a gang hangout mentality. Just go somewhere. Cause people want to go there and like buy food. I mean, that's what they're there for. I mean, and they have to move because of your dumbass. That's why I don't want them, an electric bike. I mean, it's dumb, but I get it. I mean, it's stupid. I mean, that's just my opinion there. But yeah. I mean, you know what? I hope it comes back. I mean, I hope it's not like a done deal. Yeah, it always happens. Something new happens, and someone's gonna, abuse that privilege. Someone's gonna, ruin it for someone. It's gonna happen. I mean, there's podcasts that ruin it for people. That are, YouTubers that ruin it for people. I mean, even if you're at work, there's that one employee that ruins it for you. But that's the thing. I get it, but just focus on the good thing. Don't, because if you just focus on the bad thing, then it's just what that one person wants you to do. I mean, I mean, guys be the dick anyway. So yeah, only fan model, flash the camera. I mean, that's inappropriate behavior. And also, I do want to kind of talk before I move on to the next segment. This does come into the context of, hey, like, people are saying, look, dude, Charles this lady, dude, because she's like, it's indecent exposure. And I want to, bring it up right now that, hey, it is a bit of a double standard that if a man, let's say a man, like, he can't get home in time and he has to go in the park and he has to pee on the tree. And then he gets caught and and here's the thing. He's not doing it just to, be a dick about it. He just actually wants to, use the bathroom, but he can't find a bathroom. And the bathroom doors are closed for some reason. Yeah, if he gets caught and he's labeled like, a sex offender, dude, that's stupid. Like, yeah, I get it. It's doing it in public, and here's the thing: if there are no children around, then it's not really indecent exposure, But no. But here's the thing: if a woman does, flashes her, chest out, and here's the thing: the reason why this is such a big deal is because New York has that whole free the nipple thing. But I think it's legal in New York where you can actually go topless. I feel like, actually, you know what? Let me look that up. Yeah, I think New York has that law. I don't know. But if anyone knows about that, if anyone's from New York, let me know. Let me know in the comments if that's true. Let me know. I actually want to hear you guys' intake on that. So I guess that's probably why she wasn't punished. But here's the thing. If you're doing it in front of children, then it is indecent exposure. I feel like, I kind of want to get this out and say, like, hey, huh. Sorry, guys. I accidentally, pressed stop record. So sorry about that. So anyway, so yeah, I think it's legal in New York. So like I said, if you can get a chance to hear it. So again, if you're from New York, comment below if that's true. I'm actually curious to see. Because here's the thing: women want equal equality, right? Fine. If you commit indecent exposure, then you should face the same consequences as a man. And then it's like, oh, I just showed my breasts. It's like, yeah, it's like, dude, you were exposing yourself. That's indecent exposure. You should face the same punishment because you did that. And a lot of people, and here's another thing when it comes to double standards, when it comes to these kind of things, is that like nobody wants to take account. Like no, people like that don't want to take accountability. Like for example, there was a girl, like there was an OnlyFans model that took her top off during a Raider game, and she got in trouble for it. I'm not sure what the indecent exposure laws there in Nevada are, but I feel like, dude, that's jail time right there. You could be fine with that. And nobody's like, I haven't even heard if she's been charged or not. But that's the thing. We got to stop like having those like, double standards. Well, why is it bad for us but not for them? And this for the women out there. Like, hey, you want free treatment? Fine, then you should get free. Equal rights should mean equal punishment if you get in trouble for something. Like for example, if you commit murder, and you only get 25 years, if you only get life, okay, that's fair. Life is fine. You kill someone. If you're a serial killer, fine, you get life or you get death. It fits the crime. That's good. However, I don't think a guy who had to use the bathroom like in a bush gets caught while there are no children around. That's technically not indecent exposure. Well, actually, it kind of is. I mean, the only thing you just charge the person for public urination. That's a crime. Well, okay, yeah, it's a crime, but yeah, penalize them for that. Don't make him a sex offender. I mean, if a woman does that in another state where it's not legal, then yeah, punishment. And no more double standards. We have to make people accountable nowadays. But no, people are just taking advantage of it and saying, oh no, just because I'm a woman, they're not going to do anything. It's like, no, this needs to stop. We can't, no more double standards. Everyone must face punishment. It doesn't matter if you're a guy, you're a girl, if you're gay or trans or whatever. White, black, doesn't matter. Face your punishment. That's the reason why people are are the way they are right now. That's why things are going to go so fucked up right now. That's why people complain all the time. You're making them complain. And trust me, those people are driving me crazy. I was like, oh, I got offended by, for example, oh, I got offended for you showing your shoulder for your tattoos. I didn't want to see it. Okay. I wasn't even trying to show you. I was just stretching. See, that's just an example. But nobody wants to hear it. Everyone just wants to think like, oh, they live in their own free world, like they live in a bubble, I mean, comment below, man. What do you think about that? I mean, honestly, I actually want to hear everyone's thoughts on this. So, yeah. Well, so that does it for this edition of Have You Heard? Now it's time for me to end this, and it's time for final thoughts. I could sit here and say what if with Chelsea, but the matter of fact is like I had a chance. I had a chance to say, hey, want to go out, but I didn't. I kind of just waited for her to say something, and that was my biggest issue. I made a mistake, and now I have to live with it, and I'm paying for it. But guess what? I'm moving forward. I'm moving on. I'm not gonna dwell on this forever. She made her choice. Chelsea made her choice. She can have her life. I'll have my life. Will our lives intertwine at some points? Maybe. Who knows? But if it does, it's just gonna be like, hey, how's life? How's everything? I want to get a drink. I was like, and she's like, yeah, then we can just catch up. There's nothing wrong with that. If that happens, it happens. I mean, I'm not gonna force a relationship out of that. because she's moved on. She's found someone else. She's living her life. I'm living my life. Her life's different than mine. Like, she works with guns. I work in a supermarket. That's what we need. That's what we need to focus on. It is what it is. And honestly, we had to. We had to live with that. I mean, it sucks, but I mean, there's nothing you can do. It is what it is. I mean, it's time to move on. I mean, you can't keep crying about it. You gotta move forward. In terms of who has the better music, it doesn't matter who sold more records or who's more popular with who. If you like Taylor Swift, you like Taylor Swift. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. You like the Beatles, hey, you like the Beatles. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, but what I don't want to hear with these kind of arguments is like, oh, my music is better than yours, or like, oh, and that's not real music. Here's the thing: I don't even knew real music existed. What's real music? Point it out to me. I mean, music is music, and like I said before, if you don't think it's music, then it's your fucking problem. You chose not. You chose. Hey, I don't like it. That's cool. If you don't like either of them, then fine. Then stick to your lanes and don't force it. You don't like it. I mean, but hey, I like both, and that's fine. It really shouldn't matter. I mean, do you only like one kind of food? I mean, we all have variety. I have variety. I love that variety. But not everyone's going to hear that. But hey, whatever makes you happy, whatever gets you going. And finally, yeah, like, we can't have nice things because of idiots out there. And honestly, I hope this doesn't go away because it's something we need to, someone's doing something where we can get connected with the world, and that's good. I mean, yeah, sure, there's going to be a few people who are going to be, degenerates about it, but again, don't let a few, bad apples spoil the bunch, Don't let that one person ruin it for you. Just ignore that person. I mean, they got nothing to do with you. You have nothing to do with them. Just enjoy yourself, I mean, it is what it is. And on top of, the whole, topless thing, I mean, there are times we have to look in the mirror and say, does this seem fair? We kind of have to say, hey, don't do that, blah, 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 because it's not allowed. Oh, because I'm a woman. But it's like, yeah, that doesn't mean anything. Man, woman, doesn't matter. I don't care if you're a child and you do that kind of thing. That's still inappropriate. And obviously a child can't fake. Well, they can unless they did some, unless they're developed, then yeah, they can go to juvie. But other than that, I mean, we should have like equal rights, equal punishment, equal everything. I mean, yeah, sure, it may not be, it may not be best for everyone, but hey, that's how people are going to learn not to mess around, I mean, you can't control everyone, but those, that's how life is, Shit happens. So with that being said, that does it for this week's episode. Before I go, I'd like to point out that next week I will be recording on Tuesday. So but it will be released on Friday. So keep an eye out for that. So yeah. So with that being said, that does it for this week's episode. Thank you guys for following me on this. Thanks for watching. Make sure to click and subscribe down below, and check out the Patreon, guys. I really appreciate the support of you, and give it a like it, spread it around, tell your friends about it, So like I said, as always, thank you guys for watching / listening, or wherever you're viewing this episode at. So yeah, thanks you guys for watching, listening, whatever. So yeah, I gotta really work on these outros. So like I said again, thanks for joining me, and as always, this has been the podcast. Peace.